Hey, what's up y'all, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing some crafting. I'm going to show y'all how I make my wood grain tray set. So if y'all would like to see how I was able to make that set, then stay tuned. We're about to get into it. So here's the materials you need to start with. First of all, you need to spray paint everything that you're gonna wood grain white. So here's the tray. I spray painted it white. The top for the jar, and this is a resin ashtray. You have your alcohol inks that you're going to use, and the colors are latte, caramel, and ginger. Your big applicator brush, your small applicator brush, and then a circle applicator brush. And of course, you're going to need some gloves, and you're ready to get started. So we're going to start with the lightest color, which is latte. And we're going to take latte and put it all over the tray. Take your big applicator brush and just spread latte all around. Make sure you're getting every nook and cranny. You're covering every single white spot. If you need to use a little bit more, go ahead. Cover all of those white spots. Then we're going to go in with the color caramel. Do the same thing. Cover it. And then go in with your big applicator brush. And cover it as much as possible right on top of latte. Because the point is to have different layers of colors. You want it. Because when you look at real wood, it's not just one color of wood. It's different colors of wood. So that's how it's going to look once you finish covering it with latte and caramel. Then you're going to go in with ginger. Now, ginger is a little darker. You're going to take your big applicator brush. Now, what I like to do is put the ink directly on the applicator brush so it doesn't get those ink marks in it where it looks wet. This way, everything just looks smooth. So I go in with ginger and I cover everything with ginger. I start using my smaller applicator brush to get the wood grain strokes because the big applicator brush wasn't giving it to me. So the smaller applicator brush is going to give you that wood looking strokes on your tray. So I'm going back in with caramel to add a little detail. Now, like I said, real wood has different colors in it. So now I'm just like adding detail, like adding little different color streaks to it just to give it some character, just to give it some detail. That's how it looks. And you see how they look like real wood? So I'm going to go back in a little bit more, adding a little bit more detail. And I'm fanning it to dry it down because when it's wet, it's harder to control. So I have to dry it down so I can be able to control it better. So adding those little details, this is how it looks, and it looks great. So now I'm taking this circle applicator brush and I'm going to put some of ginger on there. And I'm just going to add little like holes. You know when you see like little holes in wood, not actual holes, but they look like circular, strokes in wood. That's what I'm just going to add to it just to give it a little bit of character. So I let it dry down a little bit because like I said, when it's drier, it's easier to control. So I put one circle on there. Now I'm going to put a circle on the other side, and I'm letting it dry down before I stroke it with the applicator brush. And when you let it dry down, it doesn't get rid of the outline of the circle. So you keep the outline of the circle. And you see how that comes out? It just gives the tray a little bit of character. You know, it makes it look like real wood. You know, and those are just like the little details that I like to add. So we're doing the same thing for the top. You're going to start with the color latte, and you're going to put that all over the lid. Spread it all over with your smaller applicator brush. Make sure you get every nook and cranny. Then you're going to go in with the color caramel and do the same thing. Put it right on top. Spread it all over. Make sure you get every nook and cranny. You're going to go in with ginger now and do the same thing. And once you get to your last color, you're going to make sure that you're paying attention to your brush strokes, because your brush strokes is going to give it the wood effect. Now, you don't have to do this when you're doing your build-up colors, the latte and the caramel, but that very last color that you're going to add, you want to make sure that you're paying attention to the brush strokes so you can get that wood effect. So this is how it looks. It matches the tray really well. So now we're going to move on to the ashtray. And the ashtray, once again, you're starting out with the color latte. You're going to take latte and you're going to spread that all around. Make sure you're getting every nook and cranny. Make sure you're getting the cigarette holes or the holes right there. Make sure that's covered really well. Then you're going to get the sides. Make sure you're stroking down when you get the sides. Always stroke down when you get the sides. So then you're going to take the color caramel, put it on the applicator brush and do the same thing. Get every nook and cranny. Like I said, right now you're not really paying attention to your brush strokes, but when you get to that last color, that's when you start paying attention to your brush strokes. Right now you're just making sure everything is covered with the second color, which is caramel. Now when you get to ginger, now you're going to start paying attention to your brush strokes. So I just added ginger to my applicator brush. And now I want to make sure that I'm giving it the wood effect when I use my applicator brush. I want to make sure that I'm stroking downward and I'm giving it the wood effect. So this is how it came out. That's your ashtray. Now the ashtray was a little bit darker than the tray and the lid. So I actually went back in with the color ginger and I added it to the tray and the lid just to make sure the tone of everything matched, because the ashtray was a little bit darker to me. So once I did that, it all matched. I did the lid and I make sure I got the edges. So now it all matches to me. It's all the same darkness. So now we're going to add the stickers to it. So that BackWood sticker, that big one, is going to go for the tray. And then the two little ones, one for the lid and one for the ashtray. So we're going to start with the lid. That's the smallest one. That's the smallest sticker. Put it right there in the middle. Now the thing is, once you stick it to the lid, you cannot peel it up. It's hard to peel up. So you got to make sure you're placing it correctly as soon as you stick it down. So this one goes inside the ashtray. And make sure there's no air bubbles. Make sure everything is smooth. And then the big one go right on top of the tray. And once again, once you put it down, it's very hard to get the sticker back up. So you want to make sure you're placing it correctly the first time. And you want to make sure there's no air bubbles. So yeah, that's how it came out. And this is the entire set.